What's up, YouTube? Kedris here, and this is my match reaction to Nottingham Forest 1, Porto nil. We're through, baby. We are through to the semifinals of the Europa League, rotating the squad in a healthy way, just like I asked from the very beginning. Good job. Good job to Vitor Pereira for doing that. And despite a lot of people saying, we couldn't do it without playing our first team, we did. We did do it. Now, we got a lot talked about, some injury concerns, some players that might be out for a while, and then I'll very briefly touch on the Burnley game at the weekend. But hey, it's exciting, isn't it? Let's get into it. So I will start with the Porto team. They came out of the gates playing really well, actually. I think definitely possession and passing wise, they're better than us when it comes to kind of creating those passing triangles and really having an eye out for where to pass the ball to in certain areas. Like even in the second half of that game, they came on really strong, especially when they made their halftime substitutions. And that's really because they understand each other and there's a good system in place, so they're able to pass to each other in a very good way. And it really kind of took us out of the game and kind of pushed us into a more defensive stance, especially in the second half when they were trying to go for it. The Bednarek red card, absolutely red card, 100%, not even in doubt. You can't lead with your studs into the knee of the striker who's trying to get the ball. Yes, Chris Wood's leg was also raised, but Bednarek attacked the knee of Chris Wood. The ball was at Chris Wood's foot. There's kind of like a whole part of the leg that's in the way. It's further away. So definitely a red card for me. Unfortunate for Porto, but that is life. And honestly, I think they played really well, especially when they went down to 10 men. Fofana for them was absolutely getting into the game. He was trying to rev up the crowd. The Porto fans, shout out to the Porto fans, absolutely rocking, excellent away fans. And I think, honestly, it was a closer match than it should have been with 10 men, us being at home. But we got the dub, and that's all you need to say. Moving on to Nottingham Forest, I will start at the back, work my way to the front, as per usual. Ortega, great game once again. His distribution is definitely better than Sells. I don't think anybody is disputing that now. The only thing really Ortega's in question is his shot-stopping ability. Luckily, he has his best friend, the bar, to help him out. They struck the bar twice in this match, but neither of them ricocheted into the goal. Thank God. And I think he had a really decent performance. Didn't really have much to do. He had that one save really early on from Mafi, and that's about it. So, although they did have really, really good possession in the second half and was really threatening, there was not really much for him to do specifically. It was more of a defensive bastion that we've put in place between all of our players helping each other out, especially Sangare. Moving to the center backs, Murillo, Jair Cunha. I was a little bit worried when I saw Jair Cunha on the team sheet because I thought, he hadn't really trained this week. But he came out, was a little rusty in the first 10 to 15 minutes, and then really came into his own. He is a talent. I think he's going to be an excellent player. I don't know what his place is in this team, but he needs to find one because especially, man, we just have three really good center backs, don't we? Milenkovic is just standing in the way. Man, honestly, it really makes me think, like, if you want to play your best players, I think Jair Cunha is one of our best players. So you play a three-back, right? But I don't really like three-backs, especially in the Premier League. It's all confusing. Murillo had an injury. It looks to be a knock. I think he'll be fine. We'll see him play on Sunday against Burnley. That's just my opinion. Nothing has been released by the club yet. Nico Williams and Ola Aina. Nico Williams, once again, our best player, coming in, showing up, showing out. Had the assist. Man, God, he's so good. And he's out of position, too. He's playing left back. He's actually a right back. If you actually see him on corner kicks, yeah, he can shoot, but his crosses are so much better. I said this months ago, I'm still an advocate for Aina to play on the left. I think Aina shoots better. That might be an unpopular opinion, but I do believe Aina, on a consistent basis, shoots better. Speaking of Aina, had a really good game. Wasn't asked to actually do much. He was told to stay back, especially after we scored the goal. So you never really saw him making those overlapping runs later in the game. He was playing more defensive, more letting them kind of work in front of us and be defensively solid. And that worked out. Great performance by Aina. And, if he can continue to do that, we got a good rest of our season. Moving to the midfield, my favorite player, Nicolas Dominguez. I love this guy, dude. He does everything that you're supposed to do in an 8. He just can't shoot. That seems to be a common theme with our players, bro. Jesus. But Dominguez, great defensively, great passing wise, made runs into the box, was dangerous, got in attacking positions, shot the ball, didn't score obviously, but they were good shots in good positions. I love him, dude. I love him. He's 1000% a 6. 1000% a 6. But he does great when he's asked to step in, especially when he had to come in last minute for Anderson. Shout out to Anderson, RIP to his mom. I'll give you all the blessings and I'll pray for you. As for Sangare, great performance. Was asked to be defensive, was very good defensively, helped out a lot, cleaned up a lot of stuff. Had a couple of line-breaking passes that weren't utilized by some of the attacking players. Really, really good performance. Honestly, if Morgan Gibbs-White hadn't scored the goal, Sangare and Williams would be man of the match material for me. I think they're in the same tier for this game specifically. Great performance by him. Moving to the wingers, Dan and Doy. Not good. Not good performance once again. And the scrutiny is now on you, Dan, because you made a comment after the Switzerland game that you weren't getting minutes, that you weren't being played. And you've had 2 chances to perform, and you've been absolute shit since then. So, for me at least, looking at Dan and Doy's profile, the way he moves, the agility on the ball, his ability to bend, his ability to dribble, I just don't think he's a left winger. I don't think he's a winger. He's right foot dominant that can cut inside and make quality shots with his right foot. I just don't see it. So I think for me, he's a right winger, a guy who can kind of poke the ball pass, make a run, do a decent, cutback cross, and then if have to, can power shot it into the near post or across the goal. I just don't think he has the bend to play as an inside forward kind of guy who can cut in. So for me, Dan Doy, right wing, needs to step up. He's been shit. Hutchinson, silly yellow card, real silly. Didn't need to have it. And I think overall, pretty mediocre performance. He was subbed off at halftime. I think more because of the yellow card than actually him being bad. Because to me, he wasn't bad. He just he was if you know what I mean. So both of these guys need to step up. We need them. We need both of them for the rest of the season, especially as we push further in the Europa League. So, got to get this right, guys. Got to get this right. Moving to Morgan Gibbs-White. Great performance. I thought he was really good on the half turn, really good passes. Sometimes he'd make really stupid passes, but then he would follow up with like 2 or 3 really brilliant passes. I gave him a lot of compliments during the watch along. I was like, yo, that pass from there? Oh, so good. He was absolutely bopping it off the park. And, his goal celebration with Anderson was really heartwarming. And then if you ever want to see a guy who really, really cares, go watch the interview after the match. He almost he had a voice break at the end talking about, what's happening with Anderson. And, he's just, I see now why he's the captain. He does care. I do think his erratic play, though, really pisses me off. That's never going to go away. But to me, he definitely showed up as a captain tonight. He did indeed. And I'm proud of him. Moving on to Cristiano Wadinho. Unfortunate injury. Luckily, it wasn't the leg that he had surgery on. His left knee was the one he had surgery on. His right knee was the one that got the studs into it. Really unfortunate for him. They had to get subbed off. I'm hoping to see him against Burnley, his old club. I want him to show up and show out. Hopefully the injury's not too bad. But we do have a couple of injury scares: Murillo, um, Chris Wood, obviously, and then why is the name escaping me all of a sudden? Oh, Callum Hudson-Odoi. We don't know the statuses of Murillo and Chris Wood yet. I'm hoping they'll both be able to play. Callum Hudson-Odoi, though, has been confirmed to be out for another couple of weeks. I think he's pretty much, I don't want to say done for the season, but effectively done for the season. Maybe he gets back for the last 2 or 3 games. Maybe he's back for the final if we get to it. But unfortunate for him. I have a lot of issues with Callum Hudson-Odoi, but I've never, ever, ever want a player to be injured. This is their career, how they make their money, how they develop their lives and for their feed their families. So I'll never ever advocate for a player to be injured. So unfortunate all around. Looking at these substitutions, Igor Jesus came on for Chris Wood. I think he had a really, really poor game. Given a lot of good opportunities to score, put in by a lot of good chances, and he just doesn't seem to take them. And then you get balls into the box and you get him in areas, and he just never seems to be in the right spot. And people have a term for that. It's called a striker's instinct. I just don't feel like he has it, and it's just really weird because at times I'm like, he has all the tools to be an excellent striker, and they just never seem to come together. It's really weird, but I thought he had a poor performance. Cal Hudson-Odoi, I mean, came on, got injured, went off. But when he was on, he was moving the ball at the pitch, holding on to possession. He wasn't really creating much, but he was making us being progressive when it comes to building ourselves up. And when he went off, we really kind of faded in the match, went more towards like a low block, mid block type thing, and like conceded possession. So although he gives us possession, he does frustrate me with the creativity sometimes, but I have no complaints in this match specifically. Milinkovic came on, absolute beast, manhandled their striker, absolutely dominated the space that he was in. God, dude, I love Milinkovic, man. I love Milinkovic. I love him. So, good performance for me. Morato came on for Murillo when Murillo had the knock on his ankle. I actually don't think he did too bad. Then again, they didn't really attack that side of the pitch, but he didn't seem like he was having a problem. We didn't really pass to him, honestly, when he came on. Like, I wonder what his stats are for the match. So he had 3 defensive contribution, 10 touches, 1 long ball. Yeah, we didn't really pass. Like, he didn't, like, he wasn't a part of the game. He just really wasn't. So, I mean, I was fine with that. Backwell, I actually liked Backwell when he came on. Like, I think he should have took on the man more, yes, but like his passing was good, his dribbling looked great, like everything looked in order, looked fine. I actually thought it was a decent performance. He wasn't asked to do much. He was asked to help out, well, come back and help out defend, but overall, I actually I was watching that and I was like, there's something here. I'm a guy who really, really will grasp onto any positives when it comes to new players, and I've struggled with him specifically and in Doi to find positives. But I like what I saw. His touches were great. His passes were fine. Maybe we play him at the left wing position for some games moving forward. I'm just saying. But yeah, I would like to see him more on the right wing though, because I think he does have that agility and cut in ability that Ndoye lacks, and he's left-footed. So take it how you will. Last but not least, we have the manager Vitor Pereira. I'm a mixed bag with him. One, because I think we won the game obviously, but I think he rotated appropriately. Especially because we're at home and then we got Burnley, and it's still in England, so it's not that big of a deal to travel. I just think tactically it wasn't that good. Like, I don't know. I don't understand what we worked on in those 2 weeks over the international break. I really don't. I've had 3 games now, and I haven't seen it. I don't understand what we did. But he came on. He was making scribbles on the sideline, and then made a bunch of substitutions. I don't think any of those substitutions, except Callum Hudson-Odoi, really affected the game. And I think Callum was more of a sub because Hutchinson was on a yellow card. So for me, mixed. I have a mixed feeling about Pereira. He won the game, but he was very inept tactically and using his substitutions. But hey, he got us through the semifinals, so good so far. As for his case to be the manager of the future come the summer, not so good. But hey, so overall, a great performance. We have these semifinals starting on the 30th against Aston Villa. We will be at home first at the City Ground, so we'll be right back at it. And then we have Aston Villa away the following week. The Chelsea game is sandwiched in between them, so it's going to be a tight fixture list. I don't know if I didn't predict us to really win the Chelsea game in the first place, so I'm not too bothered by it. But this Burnley game at the weekend is so important. If we win this game, we are 6 points clear of the drop, assuming Tottenham lose, and we can really switch our focus, our priority from the Premier League to the Europa League. I have always advocated since the beginning of the season that I prioritize the Premier League over the Europa League because I believed safety is way more important than progressing in the Europa League. But if we can secure safety, we can get 6 points clear of Tottenham with only 5 games left to play. Again, that's assuming we win at the weekend and Tottenham lose. Then that priority can shift because we have safety in the Premier League, and I want us to push for the Europa League. So, this Burnley game, super important for a lot of people who were pro Europa League before the match, and a lot of people who are now like, okay, we beat Burnley, we can go for it. We can really go for the game. And I think we have a chance. Honestly, Aston Villa, they let their opponents play. They give them a chance, an opportunity, and they have to play for European spots in the Premier League as well. We have a chance, guys. We have a chance against them. So, if you like the video, please hit a like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate any feedback that y'all could give, and I enjoy engaging in comments a lot. But, good performance. On to the semifinals. Come on, you Reds.